Oh, well, we got no intro music, I guess.
Pete, look at Pete. Look at Pete. This see, you got cursed from last week.
Oh well. All right, well, this is Touchdowns and Tangents. I'm Pete D. Camarillo.
I'm Kenneth Frank James Barry, and Pete just smacked into the mic. I heard that. That was weird.
But yeah, man. This is the worst intro ever.
See what happens when I'm not on the board? This is what happens when I'm not on the boards.
Except for I started this whole thing on the board, so shut your ass up.
Except I'm better. I'm the A mic, and I'm just better.
You're really not the A mic. We've been over this.
I'm the A mic.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you muted it. Oh, Mr. I'm the A mic on the boards, and we still.
Oh wait, you still can't hear it, huh? So shut your ass up.
Nope, it's called line in, bro.
How many times we go over it? It's not line in.
And then it ends up
the only person who's had the line in problem is you, bro.
Nope.
You've had 2 episodes of line in. I've never had a line in issue.
The Taylor Rooks episode.
That wasn't a line in issue. That was just,
you had everything muted episode.
Some shit like that. Anyways, man, this is Touchdowns and Tangents.
I'm still heard about it.
Live from the Good News radio station. Shout out to X Squad affiliate. Shout out to FBC Radio. Shout out to all the other podcast apps where you can find this podcast.
Shout out to my to the ass French vanilla organic ice cream I'm eating right now.
Yeah, that's bullshit. He's literally eating a cold bowl of porridge right now and calling it ice cream.
It's ice cream.
When it's really just fake cheese that's really nuts. You're really just eating a big thing of nuts right now.
Really? Was that the best you could come up with?
It's disgusting.
By the way, my mom swears up and down that she has to get a Good News Radio shirt from you. And I was like, no, you go through Keith. And Keith already said it on the air. She's like, no, I just assume Pete's your industry guy. He's your industry plug. Get your shit. So
okay, I'm not even plugged up like that, but all right.
She said it's on you. She said if you don't give her a Good News shirt, she's going to come get you. And
all right. Sorry, Mama Berry. All right. So as you know, this is your local spot for NFL takes, tangents, NFL news for the culture. So without further ado, Kenny, you want to talk about the NFL Combine, which just wrapped up this week?
Shouldn't we start with the breaking news first, or do you want to just...
All right, let's start with the breaking news first.
Breaking news!
So about 20 minutes ago, shout out to Sports Talk with Mark. Mark, Good News radio station, newest sports show. Make sure you check that out on Saturdays. But yeah, shout out to Mark for breaking news with us, basically saying the Bills have agreed to trade for Antonio Brown. Yeah, man. The wait is over. Antonio Brown is supposedly not going to be a Steeler anymore.
Going to football Siberia.
He did get on Instagram and say it's fake news, though, so who really knows? To be determined.
I'm mad. This pretty much is just a big-ass Frosty that I'm eating right now.
Yeah, I told you that 15 minutes ago.
I'm happy with that, though. I'm okay with that.
When life gives you ice cream, you make Frosties.
Make it a Frosty.
That should be your Twitter bio.
No, I already have too many Twitter bios lined up.
But yeah, man, Antonio Brown in Buffalo. Do you care?
Shit is fire, bro.
Do you care?
I care more about this ice cream than I do Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown going to the Niners would have been the smart move, but the Steelers are like, kiss our ass, Antonio. You're going to go to Buffalo where we get actually good draft picks and good equity.
I feel bad for Antonio Brown.
I mean, I don't.
Because I feel like...
He got a blonde mustache, bro.
You could have really sent him anywhere, and you sent him to Buffalo, the place where receivers go to die, A. B, you're going to make him play with Josh
Allen.
A
tight end who has a big arm.
C, you're going to make him go to cold-ass, white-ass. Nobody cares about Buffalo.
Nobody cares about black people in Buffalo. It's mad racist up there.
Bro, I remember Willis McGahee. I think it was Willis McGahee talking about literally the only thing to do in Buffalo is Dave & Buster's.
That's a sad existence.
Like, he's like, yeah, during the week, all we would do is go to Dave & Buster's. Like, that's all there was to do during the week. Like,
maybe drugs, but yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, the Denver Broncos traded for Case Keenum.
They traded Case Keenum.
Yeah, they traded Case Keenum.
To the Redskins, right?
To the Redskins, yeah. The Redskins run a similar scheme as the Broncos, so that makes sense there.
The trash noodle arm quarterback. The trash noodle arm white quarterback who can run a zone read.
Yeah, and outside of that, I mean, Alex Smith got hurt, so they're going to give him a chance to start.
Never going to play again.
Which, I don't know. He might play again.
He's never going to play again.
He
almost lost his leg to an infection. He should never play again.
He might play again.
For the Deadskins, I would never play again.
So,
and I'm saying,
do you think Washington's still going to draft? Do you think they should draft a quarterback?
They should draft Daniel Jones or Tyree Jackson, and just mold. I would just draft. This is a good quarterback class for developmentally.
I feel like Jay Gruden is one season away from being the offensive coordinator of the Oakland Raiders. I said it.
You did.
Because I feel like Washington's going to go through a major rebuild this year on the low.
They always rebuild.
Yeah, they do. And
they're somehow probably gonna lose Preston Smith.
And somehow they stay right in that like 6-10 to
7-9,
10-6 range. And somehow like
they do
stay relevant until the end, and then somehow miss the playoffs by like a game. Sadly, but yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of teams that could have got AB. Really, and I think that's really the story of the trade. I would
trade him to the Dolphins just to be an asshole.
I would have traded him somewhere like. After all that forcing your way out of one of the greatest organizations ever, essentially deadening their whole title hopes, Super Bowl hopes.
No.
Okay, we're going to credit Le'Veon with that.
Here's what they do. They always do this to the best running back or best receiver on the team.
Yeah, no, definitely. They did with
Mike Wallace.
Santonio Holmes. Antoine Randall.
Willie Parker, if we're being honest. Don't ever say Antoine Randall. Don't, just because you have friends who played at Indiana, don't mean you get to come up here and just pull that name out your ass. Like, no, this is not Coming to America, and you're not the one white dude in a black barbershop saying, "What about Rocky Marciano?" You're not. No, we're not doing that today.
Okay, I guess you're just gonna disrespect Antoine Randall. It's not like he scored a rushing, passing, and receiving touchdown all in the same year.
Are you done? Sorry, I fell asleep.
It wouldn't be the first time you've fallen asleep on the air.
It hasn't. I'm sleep deprived. I'll admit it. I work over 40 hours a week and technically have 3 jobs.
Yeah, and so do I. But we're here, so what are we going to complain about? It's a good Thursday.
Oh, we can complain about lack of diversity in journalism, but we'll get to that.
Oh, later. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to
that. Yeah. All right, so other than that, I mean, the biggest story of the week was the NFL Combine.
This is the hugest win, honestly, for Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills. This is a huge get for them.
Why?
Because now they don't have to get DK Metcalf. Or if they do... No. If they do, their draft prospects are
Wait, hold up.
They get a receiver. They get Antonio Brown.
DK Metcalf is your number 1 receiver now? Hold on.
Did you
Wait, you
didn't
you didn't say no. Have you seen his routes?
First off, don't you ever in your grown-ass life get up here dressed in an LA Kings Adidas tracksuit with a Nike dad hat, flip to the back with don't look at me with an LA Kings.
He's not on trial. He's not on trial. You're on trial.
LA Kings fans do not have the right to get spicy with me ever.
Go Ducks.
Okay, they do. Never mind then. No, they sign your checks. All right. That respect, fam. That's all you have to say. I don't want you to commit a conflict of interest. But anyway, Josh Allen, who I said is trash and mad overrated and just terrible.
But again, DK Metcalf is really your number 1 receiver. Like, it only took 1 comma.
Yes, fam. I don't care that he was not more agile than some defensive tackles and defensive ends. I don't care. He
Which
looks
we'll
like
get
goddamn
to.
Superman and runs a 4.33 with bad form, by the way. He was plotting. If you look at his stance, he could have ran a 4.27. If we're being honest, he could have cut the time off, but like, he's a strider and he's fast. And once he gets going...
What about his teammate? Isn't his teammate better than him?
No, A.J. Brown's not better than DK Metcalf. He's a better route runner and runs a 4.49, which was... Honestly, it goes back to the fact that Ole Miss just needs to be fired. Their head coach, Matt Luke, needs to be fired because you had all that NFL talent and you still sucked ass. How you have 3 NFL receivers and you still suck ass?
How about the Arizona State guy? I've been hearing a lot about him. Harry?
N'Keal Harry?
Yeah.
He ran a 4.53, which was unfortunate, but I like his skill set, and I think he will be perfect in Houston.
Marquise Brown?
He has the Liz Frank, and he is 170. He's not a number 1 receiver.
Riley Ridley?
He ran a slow 40, and I'm just not all that impressed by,
So DK Metcalf is for real your number 1. Is this a Brashad Perriman
No, it's not. He was first off. Rashad Perriman was not that good.
How about Darrell Green Beckham?
No.
How about Darrell Green Beckham?
First off, I knew
because every year there's a receiver that jumps up, or a John Ross.
Had he stayed at Oklahoma,
John Ross.
Yeah, send him to the Raiders.
Hey, shout out to Vince Staples, man. He's offering up free gear for anyone who wears a John Ross jersey to his show.
I might just have to go and wear.
SoCal supporting SoCal. I fuck with that.
Long Beach supporting Long Beach.
SoCal over the Bay all day.
I will kill you. I will kill you. And like, just do the show by myself with your dead body here, and just use old sound bites of you talking, and people still think it's
and
you.
Just drop at the end of the days, over and over again.
At the end of the day, what I'm really trying to say is, come on, bro.
So what were some?
Then just do the robot.
So what were some other receivers that jumped out at you? Other, not even receivers, just overall other people that jumped out.
So
I just want to
Sweat.
Oh yeah. Montez Sweat. You've been standing on him literally
Sweat for the Raiders.
Yeah,
that's gross. By the way, I'm not going to Google Sweat for Oakland. Because apparently a lot of nasty shit comes up.
The only thing,
shout out to T. For
the only thing about Sweat is I've heard character concerns. I've been reading about character concerns.
This is God saying you passed on all the good Mississippi State defensive players. You passed on Chris Jones. You can't pass on a defensive end who's 6'6", 260, stronger, runs a 4.41. He's faster than any receiver.
And he killed the combine.
And he actually was killing at the Senior Bowl too.
I mean, yeah, the Senior Bowl. That's
what
I meant.
He's good. He's actually good. Other than him or Brian Burns, who is looking like Antonio Cromartie at defensive end. By the way,
can we talk about how the defensive end position has more speed than the running back position, and really even receiver
and corner? And and corner.
Because I was like really underwhelmed with the speed at both receiver and
the
running back.
linebackers were faster than the corners and safeties.
The NFL is really backwards right now. They got to figure their shit out.
No, it's just more athletes are coming down the linebacker because it's smaller guys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ben Burke-Kirven running a 4.57 shocked me.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised. He's like a Dat Win kind of player. He's a Sean Lee kind. But I would say, yeah, the Boston College lineman, the guard, Lindstrom, the North Carolina State center that everybody's been talking about all year long. I think it's Brantley or Bradley.
Yeah, I think it's Brantley.
That dude ran a 4.9, killed the combine. Washington State's tackle, Andre Dillard. This is a good crop.
Wait, hold up. Ole Miss had a safety run a 4.29 too?
Yeah, but he was trash. He was like, whatever.
Still.
He ran the fastest time at the combine.
Yeah, still. What the hell? What is going on at Ole Miss?
Ole Miss has athletes that, they just don't. They're just not good. It's like Texas Tech. Nah, not Texas. Texas Tech is a bad example. I would say
Greedy Williams hit a 4.37.
Yep.
So that cement him as a top 5 pick.
No, it doesn't. Because Devin White ran a 4.41.
Yep. 4.4. I think that makes him a top 5 pick.
Like, I don't see how the Raiders don't draft him or Montez Sweat. Like, if you're gonna draft White,
the same way they didn't draft Terrell Edmonds.
That hurt. You didn't have to say that. Do you enjoy my pain? Is my suffering like Schadenfreude to you?
Yeah, kind of, actually.
That's fucked up. It's the story of my life. Now you understand why I'm eating this ice cream off air. But nah. Also, and this kind of goes back to Buffalo, this is just great for them. Now they don't have to hit on a receiver. They can get DK Metcalf on 9, or they should probably just go tackle.
And they don't have to force Josh Allen to throw beyond 5 yards. They can just throw
screen routes,
screens, and 4-yard outs to AB all day long.
But then they also, I don't know who the hell's on the other side.
Yeah, you got to get speedy receivers around him.
Like, they need about 3 or 4 receivers. Like Andy Isabella, the only wide receiver that I will co-sign. Which, by the way,
he ran a 4.31.
Yeah, he ran a 1/10 of a second faster than the corner for the Cleveland Browns that he beat in high school. So he proved he was fast. He can catch, but he's small. He's kind of slight. And if he goes to the New England Patriots, we're all going to die. We're all screwed. If like a white receiver with 4.31, if a white receiver with nigga speed, excuse my language, goes to the Patriots.
Can you say that?
Legal. Hey, legal. I know, right? I've been so good.
In the context of the combine, after you were just talking about how it was slavery last week?
Legal. Since my birthday, haven't I
Like,
been
you're
on
really
my
gonna
best
do
behavior?
that?
Legal. Have I not been on my best behavior? They said I've been on my best behavior.
Yeah, you're schizophrenic and talking to yourself now.
Nah, legal just... Hold on. It's a Bluetooth. Let me... Actually, wait. Legal just texted me.
Wow, now there's more than one legals, huh? You okay, fam?
Fam, there's like
you
multiple
eating ice
legals.
cream, talking to yourself?
Nah, chill. First off, that's not
If
how
I-
I,
if I
that's
can't-
not how I go.
If I
That's
catch
not how
you,
I go.
if I catch you in a stoop in downtown LA, I'm gonna be hot. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
You're better than this. You're 3 months away from a degree. Now, if you include the 2 summer school classes I gotta take, shit. Fam, just get to the end of the year. This is the end of my year. But nah.
That was really dark. That got really dark.
That got
You
really
okay? You need therapy?
Yes, I do. But I'll just take the ice cream and these jokes right now. But no, in all seriousness, Buffalo has now they can either trade down if a quarterback needy team wants to get to that 9th spot. They can look to the Packers and be like, yeah, actually, the Packers got 2 first-round picks, so they're sitting pretty. But Buffalo could just trade down. Hopefully some of those tackles fall into the second round, and then they just clean up in the second round. You get a left tackle, get a right tackle. Dave Edwards, this dude out of Wisconsin, Dalton Risner. They need all types, because Eric Wood retired. They need all types of offensive linemen. Or they go for, Jamar Taylor. I don't trust Florida left tackles. I haven't. You can't name the last all-pro left tackle to come out of Florida. Don't test me on this. You'll fail. Name the last all-pro left tackle. Not somebody who was trash at left tackle and then went to right tackle and was good, because they all play for the Steelers.
Which, by the way, the Steelers re-signed Pouncey and Ramon Foster.
Ramon Foster, I think he went to, I don't know, I don't care where Ramon Foster went, but yeah, Pouncey is a center, and somebody said he just throws his head at people for $11 million a year. Honestly, the Pouncey twins honestly be beating people up. Like, I'm surprised that they didn't get pinched with Hernandez. They're gonna be the main ones. They're gonna be the ones who don't talk in the Florida 30 for 30, because they're the ones who know where all the bodies are buried.
Literally, the bodies are buried.
And figuratively, Reggie Nelson is just gonna be like, I'm above it all.
My bad.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on.
Pete just had pizza. Hey, legal. Can Pete just play his other segments over the air while we're on the air?
It was an ad, actually.
Why would you legally admit that? Now you're just, oh my goodness, amateur, rogue amateur. Anyway,
Okay, so
Buffalo, honestly, I look at this tackle class is going to be huge the first 2 rounds, because those guys are going to go quick. Honestly, it's a lot of trash tackles in the NFL. And there's not a lot of good left tackles. So, and if Oakland is proving anything, I'll just take a really athletic guy who probably would have fell to the second round and then draft him really high and just let him go through his lumps early. And hopefully he turns into something.
go ahead, Mark.
What the hell? They're not trading Edmonds.
Yeah.
No matter what draft picks they gave up, they have Antonio Brown now. And even if you give a first or a second, whatever compensation you get back, you have a number 1 receiver on your team. So now they already had I think 9 picks. So they have equity now, draft equity. So it works for them because they can probably go out in free agency now and pick, take some people who they probably would have never thought they had a chance at. Now they can have a chance at Clowney. Now they have a chance at Landon. They don't really need Landon Collins. The Buffalo Bills actually had the number 1 secondary in football last year. We just don't like to talk about it, but their secondary actually statistically is really good.
Yeah,
Tre'Davious White
as well.
Tre'Davious White should have been an All-Pro, and the Raiders should have drafted him when he first came out of LSU. I've been saying it forever, and I'm still kind of angry about it that they didn't take him. But whatever, because LSU is DBU. By the way, that Twitter thread that I got caught up in earlier, you know which one it was. Shit really pissed me off. People saying Texas is DBU. First off, outside of Earl Thomas, Michael Griffin, by the way, kind of a bust depending on who you talk to. Good for like 4 years, 5 years. Cedric Griffin, definitely a washout. Aaron Ross. By the way,
Michael Huff.
Name someone who wasn't on the national championship team for Texas, please. Name someone. Earl Thomas was on that national championship team, if I'm not mistaken.
Donta Foreman.
Again, name a defensive back.
Oh, defensive back. No, I don't know.
Somebody said Quentin Jammer. I was like, dog, he was drafted in 2003. I was born in 92. Fam, I didn't even get through puberty yet. Like, what? You know how many, serious, you know how long ago? I'm 27. Think about that. I'm 27, and you just named a dude who got fucking drafted. I really got to stop cussing. Got drafted in 2003. Bruh. Does Quentin Jammer even have 20 career interceptions? Can someone look that up for me? I'm not even going to dignify with a response because I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Or if he does, it's like 27, and he was actually good for the first couple of years, and then it's just leveled out towards the end because he was trash at the end. I remember when he signed to Denver. I didn't forget.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel, man.
Okay, so there's him. There's Aaron Ross, who was good for like 2 years and whatever, and fell off. And then you have, I said Earl Thomas, he's a safety. So yeah, other than guys who were, you know, when I was a child, they were college athletes. I was prepubescent. Listening to the fucking Yin Yang Twins album in my Walkman. By the way, United States of Atlanta is one of the greatest rap albums of all time. Life of a Stripper is one of my favorite songs. Don't Play With Me. That's a great album. It's slept on. Don't talk to me if you haven't listened to that album. Like, that's when I had respect for Adam Levine and Maroon 5 because he did a dope-ass song with the Yin Yang Twins, and I'm pretty sure a stripper sung the hook. It was dope. Huh? I know I said it was one of the greatest rap albums of all time. No. It's one of the greatest rap albums. Hell no, it's not the greatest. It can't. All right,
so we talked about some risers. What about some fallers? I'll give you some.
Ja'Kai Polite. I don't even know if that's how you say his first name, but he was very impolite.
So CBS has a couple of them.
Yeah, Charlie Cassery definitely fell after this. What a debacle. We'll get to that though.
Yeah, they were talking about the cornerback from Vanderbilt.
Joe John Williams. He ran a 4.6.
Yeah, he ran a 4.6. Who else?
Some safeties.
The D line from Oregon, Jillian Jelks.
Yeah, he ran a 4.9. Ironically, Justin Collins, who was a linebacker / edge guy, 6'5", 250.
I'm sorry, this is Bleacher Report. I'm citing Joe Giles Harris from Duke, linebacker.
He ran like a 4.7, I think.
Greg Little.
Greg Little ran a 5.3. He's supposed to be this 5-star prospect coming out of high school. He wasn't Laramie Tunsil.
But I mean, we saw that.
We saw
that with Orlando Brown, though. He ran a 6 and still got drafted in the second round.
No, but he actually had great tape. Little was inconsistent and just athletic.
And then Polite out of Florida.
Yeah, people are picking at my tape. I don't know why Florida linemen are so entitled.
They really are. Why do they always have a They have like a typecast in the first round.
They are.
Like, when was the last good Florida pass rusher?
Shout out to Alex Trebek. He got stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Rooting for him. That was definitely the wrong show.
All right.
That was Jeopardy. No, it was the right show. Jeopardy. Never mind. Whatever.
Anything else you want to talk about the Combine before we move to what's going to be our new segment, Collar Watch?
Shout out to OB hating USC players, defensive players. Porter Gustin ran a 4.7. Not surprised. Freakishly strong. Not surprised.
What about the safety? They were saying he was going to do good.
Marvell Tell.
Yeah, Marvell Tell.
He had a 42-inch vertical, 11-foot 4-inch broad jump.
And of course, you're standing for him for no reason.
No, because I thought he should have probably ended up playing corner, and Ahmad Marshall should have definitely bumped to free safety because of their skill set and athleticism. And also, I'm surprised you're not rooting for Marvell Tell because he is from Pasadena, went to Crespi High.
Okay, what ties do I have to Crespi High?
What ties do you have to Pasadena? A lot. Oh, you're from Riverside. I forgot. Y'all hate each other, but y'all like the exact same.
No, we're really not. It's totally different.
Dina and Riverside? Okay.
626. Shout out to the 626, man.
Shout out to people who should really be
Shout
in a relationship together,
Max.
but they swear they're totally different and they don't like each other. That's what the relationship is with Riverside and Pasadena.
Shout out to the whole San Gabriel Valley.
I don't know about all that.
All right, man. So, in case you missed it, Kyler Murray is now being rumored as the #1 overall pick to the Arizona Cardinals, who are probably going to trade Josh Rosen.
That's foul. I'm team Josh Rosen wherever he goes. I hope he gets traded to New England. Fuck y'all. Y'all haters.
Yeah.
Y'all got me rooting for a UCLA quarterback. Man, I hate all of you.
But for real, do you think the Cardinals should make the move? Are they going to make the move?
I hope they do, but Cliff Kingsbury, I don't believe in him as a head coach.
I don't believe in him
probably
either.
Blow up in his face.
I don't believe in him either.
Are you
but this is the
left tackle? Are you going to get the Cardinals a left tackle?
This is the Cardinals we're talking about. And if they really sincerely believe in the genius of Cliff Kingsbury, even though he's done nothing to earn it,
except in
the best thing you can do is give him his quarterback. The quarterback he needs to run the system. That's literally the best thing you can do. But honestly...
So a fast break offense?
Yeah. Honestly, Josh Rosen would actually thrive in that.
He would, because he gets the ball out of his hand quickly.
Yeah, you don't need to be a running quarterback just because Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield kind of are mobile.
First off, hold on. Let me put the ice cream down. Baker Mayfield ran like a 4.8. Kyler Murray has like legit 4.3 speed.
I'm not saying that. You can
see it. He's faster.
What
than
I'm
Lamar
saying
Jackson.
though is you don't have to be a running quarterback to be in the air raid offense.
You don't, but it's also
wasn't Case Keenum an air raid offense quarterback? Wasn't Ryan Mallett
no, not really.
Air raid quarterback?
Not really. They just passed the ball at Arkansas a lot, but they still had guys. They had Niles Davis, who kept breaking his ankle and getting injured. Shout out to Niles Davis.
That's what I was thinking about, I think.
Ran a 4.37. Shout out to Niles
Tall,
Davis.
statue, white dude. My bad. I get him mixed up.
He's 6'7", though. I don't know why he ever went to Michigan. That was a stupid mistake. Rich Rod running shoelace. By the way.
But honestly, here's the thing is like, this could easily blow up in, like, if the Cardinals really do make this move and double down on Kingsbury, it could literally, like, be the worst thing ever for a franchise.
Larry Fitzgerald should retire.
He really should. I don't even know why he's dealing with that circus. Patrick Peterson should retire, too, until his contract's up and then come back.
No.
And go to the Patriots and win a ring. I said it.
The Packers.
And you're mad because I spoke it into existence and you could actually see that happening.
Yeah. He was just buy out his contract.
Yeah, and actually Patrick Peterson does a lot of great shit in the community. He goes out to Africa every year. There's a lot of things like projects for help them get water and stuff like that. So shout out to Patrick Peterson. He's a great man. Heard him talk about it before on the Rome show, so wanted to bring that up.
You talk more about Jim Rome than Jim Rome talks about us.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I feel away.
Yeah, 100%.
Like in an illogical way, I feel away.
Nah, man, that's just the GOAT in my book. So,
but no, I'm kidding. But no, in all seriousness,
is it just smoke? Is it just fake news?
Okay, we're not.
Are they trying to
keep saying fake news?
Are they going to keep trying to get people to move up? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, if they don't take Magabosa, if they don't take a pass rusher, if they don't take Quinnen Williams, then they have to take a quarterback. They really only have a certain amount of options. So they have to kind of like play this game. That way it's not predictable with who they're going to take.
Yeah.
Let's say they signed Jadeveon Clowney.
So why don't you explain that a little bit more in terms of just playing the whole game of the draft and putting out speculation and smoke signals and all that shit. Are you really eating cornbread with ice cream? Is that the title of your mixtape?
Yes.
That might be the title of your mixtape.
It's the title of my
memoir?
Yeah. My memoir, and also like probably two things that my doctor writes on my blood test. He's like, how are you like normally healthy but you're fat, but you're eating shit like this? That's because I only do it once a year, doc.
All right, so do tell about the combine smokescreen season.
So what a lot of these and this is what goes back to my Mel Kiper argument, is that a lot of these cats.
Here we go.
Okay. Because this is the dark side. This is the Todd McShay side of the coin. Don't be afraid now. So a lot of these cats just make up a bunch of shit to sound.
Nah, they don't make up shit. They get fed shit.
They get fed shit and they run with it. They run with stuff that they know probably isn't true. And then also, if you're a black quarterback, especially as of late, they just love to say something negative about you.
Shout out to that dude from NFL Network who basically said Kyler Murray had the worst interviews and board work.
Charlie Casserly, who's 18-46 as a GM of the Houston Texans. How many washouts and failures and busts did you draft? Didn't you draft Amobi Okoye?
Didn't they talk about Cam Newton having like the worst board work when he was going through the combine?
Yeah, they called him stupid pretty much. It's always a black quarterback. And they also, Charlie Casserly is wrong about a lot of stuff. He's one of those old white dudes who I really have no respect for and pay no credence to when they talk. They're just paid.
Is there a worse punishment than if I sent you to have tea with him and Bill Polian? Is there a worse torture for you?
There is, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not speaking into existence. And it'll be a conflict of interest, so I'm not going to say it. I'm just not going to say it. But honestly, yeah. Pretty much saying that he's like, because someone had a bad interview, mind you, at the combine, they keep these guys up hours on end with no sleep. Ask them questions like, are you gay? They probably asked, do you suck dick and all types of nasty, weird shit. Because one dude got asked, do you have both? Chris Boyd, I think, the quarterback from Texas, cornerback. Somebody asked him, somebody apparently asked him, do you have both testicles?
Wow.
Yes, they were firmly planted inside your mother and on her face. That's what I would have said.
Here's my whole thing.
And your wife was jealous.
Here's my whole take on this whole situation. Kind of like,
see, I'm an asshole.
I think Kyler Murray, like, honestly, was not having it. Like,
he wasn't going for the dumb bullshit.
I feel like because he's already been through the draft process in the MLB and he essentially really doesn't have to be here, he really didn't care.
You're not going to talk to me any kind of way.
Or he knows the Cardinals are going to come get him, and so he's not really trying.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to try, frankly.
Yeah.
His tape speaks for itself. But
I wish those questions all would get exposed so we could know who's asking them, so we could go after them accordingly.
The counter argument, the thing I want to know is, so we went from talking about literally, Kyler Murray hasn't played a game since this whole phenomenon has happened.
Played good against Alabama, too.
But he's essentially gone from a potential first-round pick to, he went from playing baseball to probably playing football to probably playing football.
I said he never had a chance.
To playing football to going to the first round.
Yep.
To now being considered for a top 10 pick to now being the number 1 pick, literally in a span of 3 months.
Oh, not only that, he went from.
And people still consider him, like, if he would have came out last year, people still consider him the 5th best quarterback in that draft class, which is really twisted that they would give up Josh Rosen if they essentially, if the essential consensus is Rosen is better than anyone else in this draft.
If I could have Kyler Murray over Josh Allen, I would do it. Because Josh Allen is the big.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Like, Josh Allen is that recruiting tight end of NCAA 2009 or 2011. Where he has like 78 speed, like 72 strength, 97 throw power, 78 accuracy. And I'm saying this because I know, and I played a lot of NCAA. That's just how that algorithm works. But he's like 6'6", 240 or 250.
You're saying he should play tight end.
And his run blocking is like 60. His run blocking is like 68 or 70. His pass blocking is like 62, 65. Yeah, or 59 usually. But that's literally, like, that's his skill set. I honestly think that Tyree Jackson out of Buffalo is better than him. But as I said at the Combine and other spots, he taught himself how to play quarterback. He couldn't afford any QB coaches. And I think, like, Steve Smith was yelling at him, telling him to stop throwing so hard at the Combine. Like, a guy like that, a kid like that, you could coach to be great. Now, when I look at other guys in this draft, what I don't see is that.
Why is nobody talking about Haskins, even though he's the one who actually did go through the drills at the Combine?
And people still had stuff to say about him. Like, that's my point. I look at Haskins and he threw great. Like he showed up and he slung it.
I'm telling you,
they
bro.
Compared his release to Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know about that.
They compared it. Like, can you honestly say Haskins?
Aaron Rodgers had a weird ass release coming out. That's one of the reasons why he didn't go number one. He threw the ball from literally at his fucking ear.
But also,
like, there's literally tape of him on the ball at his ear.
But you also,
I remember seeing that as a kid. Like, what the hell is this guy doing?
I was like, how did Cal beat USC? I still don't understand. Oh, they had Marshawn Lynch and Deshaun Jackson on that team,
and Foster
and Cam Jordan, I think. But anyway,
was that the Cal team that? Oh yeah, that's what you just said.
Yeah,
I'm stupid. I got CTE and PTSD.
It's cool. We all do. Who's that in the chat room?
I don't think it. There's one. Okay. He said, Key said, we will not speak ill of Cam Newton, sir. Well, I wasn't speaking ill of Cam Newton.
Nobody was.
The coaches were.
All the white people were talking shit about Cam Newton. I'm going to just say it because I don't care about these pundits and their positions, because honestly, I don't understand how most of the talent in the NFL is black, but most of the talent evaluators are white. Explain that shit to me, please.
I mean, honestly, even look at the blogosphere in the media world. Like, how many draft announcers are black? Bucky Brooks?
Bucky Brooks,
and you've had some
shit.
He holds
it down, but he said some suspect shit. He said some suspect shit. I called him on it.
Yeah, Louis Riddick?
Louis Riddick was. I was like, where are you at? And I'm like, oh wait, no, he's just making good business decisions. And it's like, yeah, in the end, he was right, but that's why he's still on TV and he's not actually getting a job because he's too good at his actual job, which would be that job. But Mike Mayock gets to run an organization with
we'll get
no
to
experience.
That. That's actually a good segue. So pretty much what I'm.
It's so good to be white, even if it ain't right.
All right, so
is that the title of the episode?
Maybe. All right, so pretty much let's do touchdown and turnover with some storylines from the combine that basically went down.
Charlie Casserly
went down from the press conferences of teams, specifically out here on the west side.
Charlie Casserly looks like he survived polio, but still has part of his face with the polio.
Because we are on Pacific Standard Time, and this is the West Coast. So I'm gonna start with the Raiders since you brought them up. First of all, so last week, if we would have did this segment, it was about how the Raiders finally got a deal done with the city of Oakland, and we're essentially going to return for the next 2 years on a $7 million rent this year and $10 million rent next year because the city still owed like $97 million.
They took their ex back.
Yeah. But anyways, the deal was done. It was going to go through. And now this week there's been some hold up in terms of the training facility in Alameda and basically the Raiders' rights to that over the duration of them transitioning from Oakland to Las Vegas. So let me ask you this, man. Is this deal with returning to Oakland, is it a touchdown or is it a turnover?
It's a turnover.
Why is that?
For the simple fact that if you broke up with your ex,
okay,
and y'all didn't have the money to move out and live on your own, but you stay together, 3 things are going to happen. Y'all going to smash again. Y'all going to fight about smashing and then probably smash again. And you're ultimately going to hate each other because, like, yeah, y'all smashing, so I guess that's cool. But really, there's no love there anymore.
Oh.
All love lost.
That was really sad.
Bar.
That was really sad.
That was a life bar.
Yeah, man.
Chew on it.
I'm going to say it's a touchdown just because.
But am I wrong, though?
No, you're not wrong. I see what you're saying.
I hit everyone in the field.
But I'm going to say it's a touchdown only because, like, regardless of all the drama and the politics around it.
Your ex let your broke ass stay at her house for an extra 6 months.
Exactly. And so the Raiders had nowhere else to go. And the fact that they're going there, they're going to their home, like, that makes me happy that the city of Oakland is going to get 8 to 16 to hopefully, hold on, let me add 3 playoff games in there. That's 6. So what is that? 8 and 8, 16, 19 games. There you go.
That's a lot of preseason games.
Oh, I forgot the preseason games. All right, so 19
AAF games.
That's 23. So if they win the Super Bowl back-to-back years, that's 26 games in Oakland, assuming they get home field advantage. They go 12-4.
If the AAF was smart, they would be trying to build a team in Oakland right now.
I'm sure they will. They got one in San Diego. They need to just get their funding together. All right, next up, man. So big story of the week. The Oakland Raiders, essentially Mike Mayock, John Gruden, blowing smoke up the media's ass. I don't know. Are they being nice? This dude is really drinking a can of ice cream right now. Hold up. Why did I record that? Holy shit. This big man across my way is really drinking a bucket.
Fam, you've seen me drunk on Henny and multiple shots.
You should have put some Henny in that, actually. Then I could have respected you.
I'm going to go buy some Spumoni. That shit has rum in it.
Anyways,
it's liquor-infused ice cream. Spumoni, go to Giuliano's.
So Gruden,
unofficial sponsor of this podcast.
So Gruden and Mayock pretty much said Derek Carr is their franchise quarterback. He's their guy.
He's one of our franchise quarterbacks.
Is that a touchdown or is that a turnover?
That's like when you got a girl or a dude.
Okay, what's up with all relationship analogies?
Don't relax. I didn't say anything yet.
I'm just saying because it's personal to me because I'm a Raider fan still, and like some people on this podcast.
Because everybody's had relationships in this room, and you don't want to actually out yourself, so don't out yourself. Just listen to the analysis and relax. So, you almost made me forget my point, but it's like when you have a someone, but you're really looking at a something else. And you're kind of like, do I really want this someone or do I want something else? So you kind of just play with the idea of having that something else.
It's your carpe diem. It's your seize the day and so you gotta make the best of it.
It's like I could leave you right now and go back to that person and then leave that person. And even if that doesn't work out in my mind's eye or whatever, I could still come back to you and it'll be okay. But you have no leverage.
You're a dirtbag.
You have no relationship.
You have no
leverage.
You are a fuckboy.
Whoa, first off,
as we've said the past 2 weeks. This is real fuckboy logic right here.
No, I am not.
This is fuckboy logic right here.
No, I'm a Pisces, so I've technically been every other sign. So I understand people's feelings, thoughts, and emotions better than they do sometimes.
Okay, Ricky Williams.
And I didn't need to be high to do that. And
Ricky Williams doesn't need to be high either.
Yeah, but I don't have a bunch of kids out there.
Hey, shout out to Ricky Williams, man.
I don't have a bunch of kids out there.
I heard him on a certain podcast I listen to every week, but Kenny told me I can't name drop it anymore. But yeah, he's doing really well, man. He got some cannabis business. He was runner-up in Big Brother. He's doing well.
Why was he on Big Brother?
Because he wanted to get a bag.
That show, yeah, that's true, but that show was terrible.
I mean, he almost won it.
I would rather get caught with like fake cocaine.
You mean crack?
No.
You mean crack?
No. I was gonna say whatever the white girls at these clubs be fucking snorting, but anyway, because that's not cocaine. But
yeah, so I think
I'd rather be caught with like some lame table salt.
I'd rather be caught doing a podcast with you and your lame ass jokes.
But you laughed, so was it really lame? And you've been in Hollywood, you've seen girls who are coked out, but they're really just on Oxy or Perk or whatever.
No comment. I don't comment on my days.
I didn't say you were doing it. I said you saw it.
I'm domesticated now.
Okay. I'm the only one who had a hookah lounge phase. All right.
Yeah, you definitely
I'm the
did.
only honest man in this room.
Did.
I'm the only honest person in this room. Fine. Cool.
I'd rather smoke a Capri Sun than smoke hookah.
Hey, I was a different person before I came to CSUN. There was like a 7th. Once I got my AA degree,
Bro,
there was like a
hookah does nothing for me other than I can post an Instagram story of me blowing out smoke. Okay. No head change, no nothing, no relaxation, nothing. Just $40.
I swear,
and a fucking Instagram story.
Well, my homie had a free hookup, so I never paid for hookah. But yeah.
You see that hookah to go? That hookah to go.
Always
Instagram?
played. Yeah, Pass Me the Hookah always played, and like man,
hey.
Like you find out a lot about beautiful women. In
That's when I didn't like Young Thug. I didn't understand him back then. Now
2012 to 2014, like
I wasn't fucking with the whole rich gang shit.
I believe you. I know you weren't.
I was really. I
was like, he got promised, but I can't really fuck with you right now. That was how a lot of people felt about Young Thug. But anyway.
So, yeah, Derek Carr, pretty much, I'm going to say it's...
I totally forgot my analogy, but they were totally going with it.
I'm going to say it's a turnover, and here's why. If the Raiders are in a full rebuild like they've been alluding to, then what's the point in paying a quarterback who's, top 8 to 15, $20 million, and basically tying up an eighth of your cap space when you can go out and get a rookie quarterback and get an actual pass rusher or something like that and spread that money out elsewhere? Because if Derek Carr is as valuable as we think he is, as he's shown, if someone believes in that potential, ship him out for a first-round pick and get a fourth first-round pick and build your team that way.
I'm calling Jacksonville and saying, I'll give you Derek Carr.
Because then you're talking about year 3, having a year 3 quarterback instead of a rookie quarterback in Vegas, and that's ideal because Derek Carr is kind of in this phase, and I love Derek Carr. We know I love Derek Carr, but we're just in that phase where it's like he's good enough, but he's not
gonna
great.
Get any better.
He hasn't gotten any better in 2 seasons, so he's plateaued. Make the move. I know it's hard because
he's a poor man's Aaron Rodgers.
Because he has a cute white family, but whatever.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
I'm not going to say anything else.
I'm just saying. That's really why.
I don't find a lot of skinny white girls attractive. I'm sorry, I just don't.
I just mean he has that stereotypical white family. That's what I was saying.
From Bakersfield.
That's what I'm saying.
He went to Fresno State.
All right. Next up.
Mark, why he mad damn, I'm from Bakersfield. Oh, you just know that Bakersfield is trash? Okay, cool.
All right. So next up, man, we got the Chargers. They supposedly met with Antonio Gates people at the NFL Combine, potentially bringing them back. Is that a touchdown or a turnover? It's a turnover, and here's why, folks. Because we went through this whole saga with Antonio Gates last year.
Antonio Gates? Put some respect on that.
Antonio Gates. And much like the analogy that you made earlier, they pretty much called up their ex and was like, hey, big head.
No.
Our tight end just got hurt. Can you come and save our season? And Gates was like, I'm a little fat now, but fuck it, I'll pull up. And that's pretty much how it happened.
Do that thing that you used to do that I really like, but I don't like it anymore, but you do it with enthusiasm, so I still like it.
Yeah, pretty much. Take me back to those old days. What the Chargers need to do is actually address the tight end position. Yeah, that's a good start.
Or TJ Hawkinson. I'm sorry, I don't care if he's an excellent blocker. He only ran a 4.7. I'm not drafting him that high.
Not in this modern
Irv
NFL.
Smith, I think, will be a better pro than him.
It's weird. The tight end position has become this thing the NFL is enamored with, where it's every year it's oh, this is the tight end. Bro, I'm still waiting for Njoku and Mayo to pay off. Shit, even before that, remember the Jay Samaro, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, and
Seferian-Jenkins
and Eric Ebron class that was supposed to transcend the tight end, and literally only one of them is still in the league?
Yeah, I kind of knew that Ebron would be the only one to make it.
And you weren't even sure on Ebron.
I wasn't. I didn't like him in Detroit.
You thought he was trash.
I didn't like him in Detroit.
2 years.
I thought he was trash, and I didn't like him in Detroit. I thought if he was in New Orleans, he'd be putting up Jimmy Graham numbers. But personally, I mean, he's in Indianapolis, and he's putting up all-pro numbers. And I think he broke the single-season touchdown record for tight ends. So bye-bye Dallas Clark's record. But anyway, when it comes to the whole, I would just trade him for Jalen Ramsey, honestly. A marquee quarterback for a marquee corner. Corners.
You're talking about Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
We moved on from that.
I know.
We're talking about the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, the Chargers.
We were talking about
sorry, it's
Antonio Gates.
They're so nonsensical that sometimes, I already said no offense, they're so nonsensical, and I just don't like...
Like your takes?
Not really. I don't go to... I'm just saying, my professional
All right, can we just move on?
No. Let me get this joke off, because I was trying not to say it, but you kept coming back to me, so I'm going to say it now. I would rather just talk about the Raiders sucking and them trading off their quarterback for actually a good asset, because the NFL has a bias against defensive backs, so they want to drive down their value. Same thing with tight ends.
Yeah, I actually read a story about that, how the safety position is pretty much completely devalued because of all the new rules. Where basically these guys have been learning to play a certain way for really their entire lives, and now they get to the NFL and you're telling them that they can't do a lot of the stuff that basically has allowed them to get to the point that they're at.
But you love Derwin James so much. That's going to be interesting when he becomes an all-pro and then keeps getting fined. It's going to be real hard to explain to people.
Bro, my favorite part about football is when a receiver comes over the middle and gets lit up by a safety. R.I.P. Sean Taylor.
The safeties are the backbone.
Well, not R.I.P., but shout out to Donovan Darius, because that's literally all he could do.
He was a great linebacker on Madden.
I
put so many strong safeties at linebacker on Madden and just watched.
Jacksonville really had like some really solid NFL players that like our kids are never going to know about, but like they definitely deserve some respect.
Donovan Darius, I think, with the Syracuse. Yeah, put some respect on
But
him.
even Jimmy Smith, even that linebacker they had for a long time.
I know who you're talking about. He played for the Colts too.
Yeah.
Peterson.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, man, shout out to Jacksonville.
But anyway, yeah, the Chargers should just draft a tight end and move on. And honestly, I think if Daniel Jones falls in the draft, they should take him.
Yeah, that would actually be a great move. All right, so on that point, Anthony Lynn actually said he's not focused on finding Phillip Rivers' replacement because he thinks Rivers is going to keep playing. Lynn is focused on getting a defender in the draft.
A corner.
Is that a touchdown or a turnover?
They need a game-changing middle linebacker. They have, like, linebackers who are fast. Perriman keeps getting hurt. If they get Devin Bush, the Raiders should just not even show up to play on Sundays.
Is Devin Bush really that good?
He's nice.
Because I've seen some tape on him. He's not that great.
Honestly, I think he's an outside linebacker. I don't think he's a middle linebacker. This is one of the deepest and best middle linebacker classes in recent history, and because of the way the league...
That's not what Obi said.
Only in terms of scheme fit, not actual talent and production. Because Devin White is a monster, and yeah, he could be better, but tell me how many linebackers you know out here who hit as hard as he does, play as hard as he does, have the ball skills, the movement skills, and, runs faster than probably your best receiver. And shout out to Odell Beckham Jr. telling everybody that Martez Sweat was not faster than him because he put up a screenshot. He ran a 4.4 flat and a 4.31 at the combine, and somehow that averaged out to a 4.43. That was never actually explained to us because I know I'm good at math, and that shit didn't make sense back then.
All right, next up we got the Rams, man. Andrew Whitworth is returning. It's official. He made it official last week. He's not going to retire. Starting left tackle for your Los Angeles Rams. Is that a touchdown or is that a turnover?
It's a touchdown, but I think it could be. It's the least of their problems because they cut Mark Barron. They might get rid of Brockers. They didn't renew Sullivan's contract, which is why I think they're going to get Bradbury out of North Carolina State in the first round. They're going to need edge rushers. They let Fowler walk.
Yeah, the Rams didn't use their franchise tag on anyone. They letting Joyner and Sue both hit the market. So I feel like it's a touchdown because they needed Whitworth. Like, they had too many needs to not have a starting left tackle that they can count on. But in addition to that, Saffold is probably going to be out of there, so they're going to need to get a left guard because he's trying to get that residual money from that deal in Oakland that never went through. Which would have made him like the highest paid guard ever. And then the Raiders got KO a year later.
He failed a physical.
Yeah, man. I met him at the bungalow once.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the bungalow. We don't talk about the bungalow in this podcast except on the episode about the bungalow. And that was a crazy time.
Shout out to my birthday. It's coming up again. All right.
Are we going to do another bungalow run?
Nah, I'm good. I'm past that phase of my life.
Shit, I'm not.
I don't like white women anymore.
Wait, what?
No,
what?
I'm lying. I'm lying.
Yeah, I hope no girl hears this. She gonna beat your ass.
No, she would beat my ass. All right, man. So next up, we got the Seahawks. Seahawks are in talks of giving.
Goddamn right, I really drank a whole gallon, a pint.
Yeah, you're a scumbag.
A quart of ice cream.
You're a scumbag.
I offered everybody.
You're gonna cleanse your colon after the show.
Nah, I haven't had it's non-vegan, so I think I'll be fine.
It's non-vegan? You mean non-dairy?
I mean, it's not dairy, yeah.
Yeah, you're all disoriented. You don't even know. You're in diabetic coma right now.
I mean, it's not called liver beaties. Let's see what's in here. 230 grams, 120 calories from fat.
Ooh. You better hit that leg day tomorrow.
Fam.
And you chase chicken, and you have fried ass chicken. You might peel over and die tonight. Tonight might be the night, bro. Tonight might be the night.
Like,
I'm gonna pray for you, dog.
Like, don't let me die before payday.
Hey, I'm gonna send your mom the EpiPen, bro.
First off, you don't get to turn the EpiPen joke around on me. 'Cause that shit was funny when I said it. Like, I was getting text messages like, "You really hit him with EpiPen? You ain't shit."
All right, the Seattle Seahawks.
Your hairline needs EpiPen.
Real quick, can we go quick? Can you speed it up?
Sure.
So Russell Wilson, he's gonna get an extension. Is that a touchdown or a turnover?
Yeah, because I never believed the whole Russell Wilson wants to be traded from the Seahawks thing. That was bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a touchdown too because
okay, this ice cream has become light.
When you have a franchise quarterback under 30, you have to keep him. Period.
Where's my water? Jesus.
Are you good? All right. On the same note, man, the Seattle Seahawks franchised Frank Clark, Frankie, as Pete Carroll called him at the combine. I'm gonna say that's a touchdown.
If you call me Frankie as a grown man, I'll beat your ass.
I mean, not why. Maybe he likes being called that. Maybe that's his nickname.
No grown man likes being called Frankie.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah. So I think it's a touchdown because this edge rushing class in free agency was stacked, and if Clark was going to be the one who, well, what Trey Flowers got it. Who else?
Flowers. I don't think Trey Flowers. Trey Flowers might have gotten it, but I know he's probably going to get the biggest payday.
Hold on. I had a link, but whatever. But yeah, I think it's a touchdown just because you have to keep an edge rusher that young, even though I don't like Michigan edge rushers. Shout out to Brandon Graham, who also got a 4-year, $30 million deal for no damn reason.
Yeah, I
literally had 4 sacks.
I just wanted to point that out. Like, he's still getting paid, and you lost. You lost it. The same way I had to own up the Baker Mayfield thing. You got to own up to the fact that Michigan edge rushers somehow stay good enough. Like, Rashawn Gary might actually be really good. And I don't know how him and Chase Winovich both ran 4.59s because I saw none of that shit when they played Ohio State.
And the last thing I wanted to say, there's literally no 49er news, so I guess we're just going to breeze over them.
No,
they want Jimmy Ward back. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, because people are lining up to sign a 5'8" DB who has no defined like position 6'1". And who's always been hurt. No, he's like 5'9", 5'10". He's like literally the same size as Joyner.
That's
Northern Illinois.
That was so bad. I had to yawn. Like, nobody's ever said something and made me physically want to yawn. But like, I had to physically yawn after that because Northern Illinois was like,
all right. So,
they were trash after that year. That's they had like Jordan. That's the year before Jordan Lynch was a senior.
All right, man. So let's keep it moving because I'm trying to get out of here. But damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, Larry Fitzgerald is back. We already alluded to it. Is that a touchdown or a turnover?
Man, it don't even matter.
It really doesn't, man. I feel bad for Larry. He's really in love with the team that's never going to love him back. They should just put him out of his misery and trade him to the Patriots for a 6th-round pick. Just let him win a ring and do what's best for him, even though he don't want to do what's best for him.
Larry Fitzgerald is the tight end in that offensive column where he gets drafted.
Which actually wouldn't be bad.
He's a move tight end at that point because he ain't burning nobody.
Move.
He's just racking up yards in the slot.
All right. On that note, I found who got the franchise tag. So Frank Clark got one. Jadeveon Clowney got one, which we expected.
Robbie Gould. D.
Ford, Grady Jarrett, DeMarcus Lawrence. Le'Veon Bell didn't get it. Donovan Smith didn't get it. No Landon Collins.
Donovan Smith got a contract.
No Trey Flowers.
The Buccaneers.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Justin Houston being cut by the Chiefs?
I mean, didn't we see it coming? Does that make him the best edge rusher available outside of what? Flowers, Preston Smith.
Can he be a 4-3 defensive
the other Arizona, not Chandler Jones, the other Arizona DN?
Sorry. Marcus Golden?
Yeah. Isn't he a free agent?
Yeah, he hasn't been good since that 1 year.
2 years ago. Yeah, man. I mean, I think Houston
Anthony
still has like
Barr,
2 more years.
Todd Barr is like, I feel like if he goes to a 3-4 team, he'll be a beast.
But he's a true 4-3 linebacker. But yeah, man, free agency's coming up, so we'll have a lot more on that. Yeah. But on that note, let's move to the rants. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, did you really want to go first?
I mean, I actually have stuff, but
I like how you just mute my mic anyway.
Do you want me to go?
Nah, you clearly want to go first.
If you have something to go first.
Nah.
All right. No, you go first because you take forever. Yeah, go first.
No, you go
first because you take forever.
Say what you're going to say. Damn, John.
All right, man. So we got to start, first of all, by talking about something that happened literally before I came in here and recorded this podcast. So there I was, minding my own business in the Twitterverse when the FPC group chat dropped this whole thing about basically asking, should you get a degree or not get a degree if you're pursuing journalism? Which if you're into journalism or if you ever research journalism, this is literally like an age-old debate. Like this debate goes back to the fucking printing press. So it's really a waste of time, but I engaged anyways for whatever reason and pretty much got into it with more than one journalist. And ultimately, the point that I wanted to make, and the point that I always make, is any school you go to, I often compare it to the gym, right? Just because you got a gym membership doesn't mean you're going to be fit. Just because you went to college and got a degree doesn't mean you got a job.
I know hella stupid ass people.
The only thing that college guarantees you is one thing. Debt. The second thing is it gives you resources. So what you do with those resources is up to you. There's plenty of people that go to school and just go to school. That's it. They check out, whatever. There's other people that go to school, get involved with the community, network, get into the clubs, all that sort of stuff, and they make it work for them. Just the same way there's people who go to the gym every single day and stay there hours. There's people that go to the gym and talk to everyone. There's people that don't go to the gym and like just bullshit and don't see any progress. And that's pretty much the same thing with school. Now, beyond that, my whole issue with this whole debate is this. The premise of, okay, you just work hard and you'll get noticed. You don't need a degree. You can just go work on a desk and get the experience there. Or whatever. You get a degree and you get an internship and you move your way up. That model's literally going extinct. Like, it literally does not exist. And if it does exist, it's getting harder and harder and harder. And the fact that people who did it 5 years ago, fuck the people who did it 20 years ago, are literally on Twitter having this broad discussion about this trend that they really are so far out of touch that they don't even know what's going on. Because the reality of the situation is this. In the past 12 years, we've had something called social media that's really turned media into an existential crisis to where, let alone sports, athletes don't need media to get their message out. They have their own social media channels. They have the Players Tribune. They have their own business ventures. And that's why you're seeing all these media people. That's why you're seeing these NBA players specifically getting mad at media because they don't need them. And they're wondering, why am I here entertaining this conversation from this white dude who doesn't care about me, doesn't care where I came from, doesn't care about my story, and is really just here for clout for himself. It's about him. It's about his brand. It's about his podcast. It's about whatever. And so this whole narrative of like, just put your head down and work and persevere and eventually you'll get noticed. And it's like, it's not that simple at all. And saying it that way trivializes all the people who have journalism degrees and are waiting tables and are driving Uber and are bud tenders and are doing whatever they have to do to survive. And it's not because they didn't work hard enough. It's not because they don't have a niche. It's because it's hard. And no matter what you do, there's no guarantee you'll break in. No matter who you know, no matter what you know, it doesn't even matter. Does not matter. And that's the message that I want to send to people is like, if you go into journalism, here's what it is. You're headed towards an abusive relationship that's never going to love you back. So as soon as you can accept that and be okay with that and still say, you know what, I believe in the bigger cause, I enjoy this, I like it, then you know what? Good for you. Make it work for you. Take care of yourself. do self-care, meditate, do all that stuff, keep your mind right. But you know what? If that's what you really want to do, I'm not going to tell you no. But don't get on this righteous path of like, oh, journalism's the greatest thing and it's such a higher cause, because it's really not. Like, really, what we're doing and what people doing, like, it's really not that fucking hard. Like, and that's what really grinds my gears about journalism is like, and I'm literally in these Lakers press rooms, and like I'm literally watching people walk up to these prominent people and stand on them, like while they're eating and while they're having conversation. And it's like, where's the respect? Like, where's the respect? It's like, it's not about what you know. It's not about who you know. It's not even about the work you do. It's about finding a way to get attention. That's how you break in. And it's sad because it's no longer like, oh, I'm going to grind, I'm going to break through. No, that doesn't exist anymore. It's about who you can get, who you can stand on and basically get them to vouch for you and then break in that way. It's mad cloud chasing, and to act like it's not is really disrespectful to all the people I know right now who are out there struggling, trying to make these journalism degrees work for themselves. And hold up, the last part is, I didn't even get to the minority angle of it, because the people who are surviving in journalism, the people who can take these unpaid internships, the people who can contribute their work for free, are usually not graduating with $50,000 to $100,000 in student debt, first of all. So, I mean, they have the luxury to get a degree because it's usually paid for. And when they do get it, guess what? They're not playing 7 steps back like I am. They don't owe Sally Mae a Bentley. Like, so yeah, you can afford to keep grinding and keep working and keep at it, because guess what? You're not playing from 10 steps back. You started at third base. So yeah, you can persevere, you can survive it, and you can make it work for you. Good for you, but you're ignoring all the other people who can't. You're ignoring all the other people who didn't come from white-collar families, who don't know how to network, who don't know how to put themselves in a situation to approach someone who has power over them and ask them for something. Like, you're downplaying all the people that come from backgrounds where they need to take care of their families, where they need to take care of their grandparents, where they can't afford to work for $35K out of college, where they can't afford to make $17 an hour working unpaid. And guess what? I'm one of those fucking people. And you know how many jobs I've had? You know how many unpaid internships I've done? You know how many unpaid? I've literally had like 30 jobs. If you count all my unpaid writing gigs, like I've had so many gigs. And like, just to be like, oh, it's a matter of hard work. Like, no, it's not a matter of hard work. And on that note, the last thing I wanted to say, and this is just my own personal fucking beef, I left journalism, I left sports on my terms because it couldn't afford me. Because I couldn't afford to wait for sports and journalism to value me. That's why I went to PR. That's why I went to marketing. Because guess what? That's where the bag was. And you know how many other people there are out there like me? And that's what the fucking problem is. Because guess what? How many people have these gatekeepers pushed away by telling them to keep grinding, setting them up for these bad expectations that just lead to burnout? And you know what they decide? I'm going to go work at McDonald's and make more. Fuck this shit. What if that person was the one who's going to save LA Times? What if that person was the one who's going to find the fucking model to actually make this journalism shit work? Because guess what? It's not. It's not. We have major publishing groups. There's literally like 5 companies that own all the media companies. Local media can't survive. You have the haves and the have-nots. Local media is trained for one thing. National media is trained for another thing. You got reporters cannibalizing each other because there's 5 times less jobs than there were 10 years ago. It's even easier to be a journalist than it was 20 years ago. So anyone can do it. There's twice as much competition. And yeah, man, I don't know. Did I leave anything off?
I mean, damn.
Pete
said pretty much the PG version of what I'm about to say.
You can have your own rant. You know, you don't have to take mine. Just saying.
No. I'm gonna piggyback off what you said,
as you usually do.
No, I don't. I usually go first, and you better not mute me again. But yeah. I just really have no sympathy in my heart for people who are born on third base. When some of us were probably born in a shitty neighborhood down the street, had to survive that circumstance avoid the cops killing us, avoid poverty killing us, because I think Pete said it, or someone said it, but Andrew said it. Being broke is fucking expensive. Okay? Let me just say this. I've had probably about 20 jobs between the age of 20 and the age of 27 that I have now. If I think about internships and writing gigs and all my work at the Sundown, all that other shit, and a bunch of stuff afterwards, and the fact that I had to support myself when I wasn't in school, and I still support myself now, working a full-time job and a part-time job, and doing this radio show / broadcast, and still going to school and finishing up so I can graduate college and get my punk-ass bachelor's degree this semester, which honestly, at this point, I can say means absolutely nothing to me. Like, this degree means
That's
nothing.
A lie.
Let me finish.
Don't fucking lie.
I'm not lying. It means nothing to me as far as I already know I was going to get it. Like, there was literally, like, after everything I've been through, like, you can't tell me in 2019, oh, Kendall's not going to get his bachelor's degree this year. No, I've waited long enough. No, there's really nothing else in my way. I literally have paid my own fucking way. Like, I know a lot of people who graduated. I came in with them. I watched how, honestly, they really weren't talented at all, but kissed enough ass. And some of them, honestly, still work at like a Starbucks or some bullshit like that. They're barely getting by, too, with their upper class families. So my thing was, and I got in trouble for this a couple times, I used to tell people what I really thought of them. And, you know, it's funny because in journalism they say you should seek the truth, and it's kind of a mantra that I live by, comfort the afflicted, afflict the comfortable. You know, or in other words, in the way Zach Randolph would say it, where I'm from, we bully the bullies. It's a situation where if you are not from money, or like if you just can't do journalism as a hobby because your parents own a company or some shit and you can just go work for them, like it's seen as a tool, a toy that you play with. But for people who come from really fucked up, disadvantaged backgrounds, it's a way that we can give a voice to voiceless people. It's a way where we can stand up and say, like, nah, this shit is wrong, and you intellectually have to respect what I say because I have a background of work to prove it. There's a lot of people that honestly,
you are a fucking journalist. Holy shit.
Yes, I'm a journalist. Shut up. Shut up, Pete. You're ruining this for me.
You're really making me happy right now, bro.
Like, honestly, I could sit up here and think.
Like a fucking SBJ code.
Shut the fuck up, Pete. I swear. Oh my God. I hate you sometimes. You're terrible. God. But anyway, when I think about people who I know don't have my natural ability, who I know if they literally had to go through some things I went through, they'd fucking kill themselves because they're mentally weak, and I know it, and I've called it out before, it's hard for me to respect people like that who don't work. Like, you may have gotten more in life than me, but you didn't work hard. Like, some people only, let's just be honest, some people really only faced adversity until they fucking got to college. Like, dog, I came from a JUCO. I had to scratch, crawl, and fucking rip my way out of that. I know people who are still in the JUCO right now, graduated the same fucking year as me, still just trying to figure shit out. I know people who got discouraged from being in journalism and left the profession altogether. It's a chick who was my editor-in-chief, who was a fucking newspaper editor at El Camino College for like 6 years. Now she's in real estate. And I don't even know if she's doing good at that. And she had a bad lace front. Fuck her. But whatever. She literally...
yeah, man, all that. But
to wrap this up, man, all I'm going to say is this. It's more people in this world who don't have to work as hard as you to get everything that, like, you feel like you deserve, that they just take it for granted. There's just more of those people.
Yeah, definitely.
Sadly, that's just the truth. So I would say don't major in journalism. Major in something that'll make you money if you really want to make money. But if you're going to major in journalism, like, you just got to understand it's a shit show. And unless you're white, a white male, or a white woman, or a total fucking kiss ass, you ain't going to get pushed up into these prime positions. You're going to have to build your own platform. Like, they say, oh, if you build it, and I'll end it with this, if you build it, they will come. But what if they never come? Well, you keep fucking building, stupid. Like, you don't stop. You never stop building. Not to call y'all stupid, but you never stop building your platform. Because that's, like, you only need...
Like Vince said, take a step towards building the set every day.
Fam, you talking about Vince Staples? You know what I'm saying? If you're quoting any other Vince...
I just called him by first name now.
Now, you got to call him the parody account. But nah, in all seriousness, man, like, you got to keep building. It only takes, like, really 10% of the population to affect change in this country, or just in the world in general, revolutions. So be the change you don't see. And instead of trying to fit in where you don't fucking fit in, because guess what? They don't want you to fit in. They don't like you. They don't want you. And they know if they put you in that position, you would change shit because you probably act from a moral compass that is actually righteous and just. And that's the thing, just to, again, wrap this up, last thing I want to say about this. Like, that's the ironic thing about this whole thing is these people who work and build an expertise in a niche and get these insider privileges and access, and it's like they become so inside that they're literally just inside and they have no touch of reality of what's going on outside of their beat and what's actually happening with the people. And it's like when I'm in these press rooms, it's like, fam, like, I've studied this shit. Like, I care about this shit. I read about this shit every single day. Like, I know more about this shit in the business than half these people in here because I'm not coming for their job. I'm coming for their boss's job. Their boss's job.
But the thing is, I'd still rather talk to the security guard at Staples Center than I would rather talk to half these people. Because he got all the
dirt. I'm telling you, when you speak for the streets.
Except for Rachel Nichols, man. I actually respect her. I saw her, like, she's like the only person I broke character for, honestly.
Yeah, I bet you did. But anyway,
shut your ass up. I could have said something else. I could have said something else, but I didn't. Shut your ass up. And the last thing I want to say,
leave it alone.
Man, the whole beef from this, you know who it came from? It came from a reporter at the LA Times, which just got bought twice in 4 years, 4 times in 5 years, and is essentially the big wheel behind the bottom of journalism in Los Angeles falling out because they haven't gotten their shit together in 2 decades. So but
who's your pimp?
That's what I'm talking about. You know what?
Who's your pimp? Who you home for?
I'm West Coast, but from now on, when I refer to the Times, I mean New York Times. Fuck LA Times.
When I talk about the Times, I talk about Morris Day in the Times. Fuck all that. That's
and the only time the other dude I was talking to was from Sports Illustrated, which also got sold twice in 2 years. So, yeah, this shit isn't happening in a vacuum.
Who's your pimp and who
Journalism is in an existential crisis, and these gatekeepers got to stop pretending that it's not, and it's just a matter of perseverance because they actually had the privilege to survive. And that's where they live.
Yeah, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Fuck the gatekeepers. Go build your own gate. Go build your own community.
Shout out to the Good News radio station. Shout out to X Squad affiliates. Shout out to FPC Radio. Shout out to all listeners that listen to us. If you're listening to this podcast on a podcast platform and you can do one thing to support this show, please go and rate. Please go. I said one thing, and you just gave 3 things. If you can do one thing, one thing.
Okay, fine.
If you can do one thing, rate this podcast. Tell us what you really think. Let's talk about it. And if you really hate this podcast, I invite you to call in and tell us why. But yeah, man, touchdowns and tangents. I'm Pete Camarillo, a.k.a. at Pete Certified.
I'm Kenneth Frank James Berry, a.k.a. also Grande, a.k.a. MC What the Fuck, a.k.a. Daddy Do Dirt. That's my rap name. And
I'm sorry that we were late today. You know, we had to take care of some business off air. And shout out to Mark for being patient. I know he's in the pre-record, so we're cutting into his time. But yeah, tune into the show on Saturday. Sports Talk with Mark, the newest Good News Sports show. All right, y'all. Have a good week. Peace.
Love y'all. Peace.